Have a time cap or anything like that? Okay. We normally keep it somewhere between 30 minutes is the shortest. And like on the long end, I've had ones go like 3 hours, but I prefer to not do that because we would be out here in the dark. But we shouldn't need to because this isn't like a horrifyingly complicated case at this point. What's up, little dude?
What's up, you big dude?
What's up? Go say hi. Oh my God.
Hey, stink. Hey, stink.
He's a stinky. We gave him a little bath, but he might need more. He might need more.
Me.
Good job.
You miss me.
Somebody put this on. Oh, I know
You miss me.
You do. Oh yeah. He definitely seems happy to see you. Tabo. Hi. Easy. 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 He's like, I'm not gonna be easy right now. You see she's here? You don't see she's here? Oh God.
You gotta, hold on, you gotta put the towel on.
Hey, buddy. Oh, I know.
Don't choke yourself.
Hey. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I love you. I know. I love you. Yeah, I know. I love you. This is the worst time to demo something like this because he's more excited because it's been quite a while.
Hold on. Let me put this on.
We'll leave it like that for now. That'll be okay for the second. We'll let him walk around first so he don't keep bugging. Oh, go say hi. I know.
Hey.
Thank you. All right. So what I figured we can do first, we can just walk our way over here. Good job, dude. And we can just take an opportunity.
that was you.
What's up, dude? What's up? I tend to think of this not as like a demonstration session, because that's what all the videos we take are for, right? Instead, I think of this as like a, let me answer any of your burning questions thing. Bo, enough. Enough. All right, man, come on. There you go, good. Oh, enough. Sit. He is so dang excited to see you. Good job. Nope. There you go. Okay. So, before we get into any of like the ins and outs of how to do this stuff with them and how to maintain the training, the first question I like to ask is, what things are on your mind the most in terms of like having him back and transitional stuff? What are your transitional worries, basically?
Let's
go. All right.
Up.
Up. Down.
That he just follows the commands with me.
Nope. There you go. Okay, well then that's, yeah, so that's one. So we'll table that one. What else? Anything else that's like a thing that's in your mind? Nope. Down. Bow. All the way. Down.
Probably that right here.
Nope.
Making sure that he stays.
Good job.
All this stuff our treats.
Okay. All right, so then we'll just go over stuff. And if anything else pops in your head that you're concerned about potentially, we'll talk about that then. All right. So in terms of maintaining the training, the first thing I'll go over is, so a lot of this is going to be kind of like, I try to take the theory method stuff and put it in plain English for people, because if you use the same lingo that's like in a lot of dog trainer circles or in like the scientific papers and stuff like that, you're gonna be like, and I'm gonna have to spend a bunch more time trying to explain those things, and I might as well just skip that. So in plain English, there's a few things that matter the most. One of them is what I call window theory. So window theory, if you think of a window pane, there's 4 normally quadrants in a window pane, right? When it has like that cross beam on it. So window theory is, there are contexts. Each one stands for a context in a dog's life, right? So in each context, different things might be acceptable. if you go to a really fancy dinner at a restaurant with people from your, higher ups from your job or something, you're going to act differently than if you are taking a walk with your best friend at the park, right? Or than you would if you were, at home by yourself, chilling, watching Netflix or something, right? Your behavior is going to be different based on the context. So same thing for Bo, right? So the 4 contexts that dog's life fits in are, number 1, the find your own fun window. Number 2 is the find fun with me window. Number 3 is the calm liberty window. And then the 4th one is the obedience window, right? The work window. So each one of those, the find your own fun window means you can do whatever you want within reason. Don't go bite people or bite dogs or something like that, right? Don't do things that we don't want you to do ever. But other than that, you're free to do what you're doing. So if that's the case, what would you say, what window is Bo in right now?
The busybody.
Yeah, he's in the find your own fun window because he's not restricted in any way right now. He's cool to do what he wants to do because he's not in work. I haven't given him a command, right? Which is how you would put him in work window. And he's not in the find fun with you window because you're not playing with him right now, right? And he's not in the calm liberty window for sure, right? Because he's not very calm right now. He's super amped. So each of those windows can be put on cue, which is what we do. So the reason that we do it that way is because think about like a person. If you have a roommate or something like that and you want them to just chill out because you're like, hey, look, I'm just trying to like chill. I'm not in the mood to like be all amped up right now. You just have a conversation. Be like, hey, look, I'm kind of trying to chill right now. Could we like not be doing all of that? And they'll be like, oh, okay. But with your dog, they don't speak English, so you can't tell them. So we put it on cue because that's a way that you can tell them, right? So like in this case, the cues are like this. So if you want them to be in the work window, ask them to do any command, right? So if you want him to be in the work window, Bo, come. Bo, sit. Now he's in the work window. He's supposed to be working. He has a task I've asked him to do. He's not supposed to be doing anything other than that task. If I want to then put him in the find your own fun window where he can go do what he wants, I use the release cue, which is an O and then a K. So, okay, good boy, right? And I might give him some verbal encouragement if he doesn't go right away. So I'll be like, go, dude, go, right? And you may have seen that in some of the videos where I said okay, and then he was kind of like, do I get to go? And then I was like, go, dude, go, right? And ideally what you see is like, they go, sick, I'm gonna go like run around now. I'm gonna go sniff trees and go do whatever I wanted to do because now he knows, okay, I'm released. I'm not obligated to do anything at this moment, right? And then the find fun with me window, I normally use ready. You ready? Bo, you ready, dude? You ready? Yeah. Right? And then I might throw a ball or play tug or do something fun with him, right? And then if he jumps on me in that window, like I just don't care, right? Because I've told him get ready, so it's time to play, right? And then if I want him to just chill out, say we're in a context where it makes sense to chill out, and this is gonna be very useful for you, I think, for him, based on his personality and what he likes to do. He wants to bother you to like have fun, right? So if you want him to chill in the house, and he's not like really chill at that moment, he's got zoomies or he wants to chew something that he's not supposed to chew or do something like that, tell him enough. Right? Oh. So, yeah. No, and the way you'll want to do it is, Bo, enough. Right? Now, he's not in a command. He's just supposed to be chilling. Right? And then if I want him to be cool to go do something else, okay, go. Now he can go do his thing. Right? Now, I don't use that out here very often. I normally use that in circumstances where I just want them to chill. Right? So normally at the house. But you'll want to reinforce that. So the way you reinforce each of them is, if you say okay, you want to make sure that he goes and does something, because you don't want okay to start meaning, okay, but you still have to stay close to me. And so then you're like, okay, you're accidentally keeping him in command. So if he doesn't go somewhere and do something else when I say okay, so Bo, okay, go. Go sniff that tree, go pee on something, go do something else. I'll encourage him verbally to go do something else. Same thing though with the enough. If you tell him enough and he doesn't stop and he's still got the zoomies, you're gonna wanna go over and be like, hey dude, hey, I said enough, right? And as soon as he's chill, then you say, okay, enough, right? Enough. And then he's chill and he's doing enough, right? So then the other one, obviously then this would be an obedience scenario. Oh, come. Come. Nope. All the way. Come here. Come. There you go. Good boy. Right. Yeah, and then same thing with the ready command. You're just going to want to make it very clear. So most of dog training is about clarity, right? So clarity to them, not to you. It might be super clear to you because you know what you're trying to say, but they're not telepathic. They don't know. So you make it clear to them and think from a dog's point of view. Was that clear or not? And try to read. Does it look like he understands what you want? Or does it look like he wants to know what he's supposed to do, but he's maybe like a little confused about it? If you see that, just help him, right? So as an example of help, Bo, let's go, good boy. If I say, Bo, down, and he goes into the down, sick, good job, okay, woohoo, good boy. But if he were to have not gone all the way into the down, I would have just helped him, like that, and I would have popped down a little bit, and because I saw he was trying, because he sat, if he had just sat and then looked at me, he's trying to do what you asked him, but not quite getting there all the way. So then I don't go and punish that. I just kind of go, okay, all the way, buddy, right? And then as soon as he goes all the way down, awesome, right? Now, conversely, if it looks like he did know what you wanted him to do, and he just ain't doing it because he don't want to, because he's sniffing something, doing something else, and he doesn't recall because of that, then I'm going to use the word that predicts that something bad will happen next if he doesn't listen, right? So that word is nope, N-O-P-E. But obviously he didn't react to it when I said it just then, so it has to, I make it that way on purpose, so you're not out here like, oh nope, like that's not quite right, and he's like, oh fuck, right? You got to say it like, nope. He's like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh no, something bad is gonna happen, right? Good boy, come on, it's okay. Oh, fortunately they have short memory, so I used it there for no reason. But I just did it so you could see his reaction. He was like, oh, like that, right? Which is the reaction you wanna see. So if you say it and he does that, great. So then if I say nope, and then he then does whatever it is that I asked him to do, great. That's it, mission accomplished. If he doesn't, then I'm gonna say nope again, and then I'm gonna pop on his collar until he does the thing I ask, or I'm gonna use, he has an e-collar on, I'll use the shock, right? The reason that we do it that way is think about like a traffic fine. There are like programs through insurance companies where you get like a positive reward if you say like are a safe driver, and they'll give you a little bit off on your insurance or something like that. But a lot of people don't care about that at all. They'll keep doing whatever they're gonna do, and they'll drive dangerously. So what do we have instead? Well, traffic tickets, right? You get fined enough times and you're like, I'm not gonna speed again because that was not cool, that sucked, right? And so then it makes you less likely to do that in the next time. And in this case, we are using just pressure, right? So he feels a little pressure. He knows he can make the pressure go away by doing the thing that I asked him to do, right? And so one of the first things that we do when we start the program is we make them sensitive to the pressure. The way that we do that is we'll walk around, and then I'll go like this. And you see how little pressure it takes for me to get him to do something with the leash? I just made him sit with the leash by pulling up a little bit. Or I can make him down with the leash by putting a little pressure down, and then he downs. Okay, right? So then once he's sensitive to pressure and knows to comply with it, then we start putting verbal commands on it. So then we don't have to use the pressure unless he doesn't comply, right? So if I say, Bo, sit, and he sits, that's it, right? Sit, bud, sit, all the way, sit. Okay, get your stick, right? Then he's good, no harm, no foul. But if he doesn't, then I'm gonna say nope, and I'm gonna put a little pressure, right? And make sure he sits. So let's see what else. What questions? You got any questions? Because that's a lot of the main stuff about how to maintain it. Not all of it, but most of it.
No, I don't have any questions at the moment.
Okay.
Can't think of any.
Great. Well, then the last thing that I'll go over with you is very simple, but also
You smell something.
it might be the most important thing though. So all of those things are super important. The last thing is, how did we make him not bark at people and dogs and stuff? And how can you make sure it doesn't come back? So how we did it is very simple. Two things.
I know you smell
There's
something.
two parts of it. One thing is what creates barking and reactivity. Hey. What creates it is, it's normally situational, which is all it was with Bo. So, if I pushed you, would your reaction be to go with the direction I pushed you and fall backwards and fall on the ground? Or would you brace forward and be like, nah, and make sure that you maintain your balance and stay standing? The second one, right? You would push forward, right? So if I pull back on a leash, their first reflex is to pull forward on the leash. So if I walk a dog like this, and they're always pulling on the leash, and then they see another dog or a person they find interesting and they want to go to it, but they don't have the choice to go to it, what they're going to do is get frustrated. When they get frustrated, what do dogs do? They start barking and reacting and stuff, right? However, if he's free to go do that, he can, like, he has the choice. He could go walk up to that dog right now if he wanted to, right? And then I'm like, you have the choice to do it. Go do it if you want to, right? You know, in a lot of cases, not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, that's all it takes. They just, oh, now I have the choice, and they go up and they sniff and look at it, and then they're like, oh, all right, whatever, and they walk away. Yeah, I don't care, right? Bo, let's go, dude, come on. So that's the first thing we did, is we just gave a lot of freedom and we allowed for choice. So it's called a choice point. As an example of a choice point, that dog's walking over here. I'm walking. Now he has a choice. He can go walk up to the dog or not. Or he can ignore it. It doesn't matter to me. So he's chosen that he doesn't care about that dog, right? He could. I wouldn't be bothered by that. I would just let him do it. If he did something he wasn't supposed to, like bark and lunge and like freak out towards the dog, then that comes to the second thing. I would probably just say, let's go, and redirect him. But if he like really was like at that dog, really going after it, then that was the second thing we did, which is I punished that. I just penalized it. So in a game, if you do the thing you're not supposed to do, you get penalized, you lose points, you lose the game, something like that, right? Or you get disqualified. So in that case, two things would happen. One, he would get penalized, which in this case would just be probably I would use the e-collar in this case. And he'd get a tap on the e-collar, and then I would have said nope, and I would pop him, nope, and pop him, and nope, and pop him, and really make him go like this. And as soon as he was like, oh crap, I did the wrong thing, and he was really like not happy, and I really made him feel bad about it, and suppressed him, and even like there's some pain involved in that, then after that I'd go, all right, bud, okay, and then he would be able to run around and be fine again. But I would make it like super eventful, like really impactful, like, hey, never do that again, right?
I don't have anything.
She don't have nothing, dude. Come here, dude. Come here, right? So that's the main thing to do with that.
I did eat before I got here.
Yeah. And then the last thing would be how I want you to do walks to make sure that that it doesn't come back at all. Is use a Flexi. Do you have one? A Flexi?
No, I can get one.
Okay. So yeah, use a Flexi like this. And when you're walking him, and you'll probably buy a 16-foot Flexi, I recommend getting like a 16 or a 26-foot Flexi. 16 is fine. Get like one that has, get a decent one, 16 foot. You can get them at PetSmart, Pets, or you can get them at, they have them at Tractor Supply. They have them all over the place. You can also order one online. That's the cheapest way. And I like the Flexi brand the best. But yeah, get a Flexi. And when you're walking with him, don't keep him next to you all the time. Let him go and explore and do things 95% of the time. And then use the leash like a prop in the training. So the leash only comes out to reinforce if he doesn't listen to verbal control. So if he listens to the verbal command, great. So you're walking with him. Oh, let's go. Come on, let's go. And we're walking around. He's making choices. Hopefully he makes mostly right choices. If he doesn't, then I just ask him to do something else verbally. Bo, let's go. And most of it's just, I'll use let's go to get him to go with me. If he's stopping somewhere or doing something, I'll just redirect him with the let's go. Good job, bud. And then if I want him to be stationary for a second, Bo, come. Bo, sit. Sit, bud. Nope. So that's where you would use the nope. And then, okay, we can keep going, good job. Right, I tell him okay, give him the release command. And this is how I'll take the walk, instead of like, all right, he has to be here the whole time. Because that creates reactivity. That'll make it come back, basically. And you don't want that, I'm assuming. You don't want the gar, 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 gar barking and freaking out at everybody back. You probably like this a lot more.
Yep. It's so quiet.
Yeah. So he's just chilled out, and we can walk by stuff and do whatever we're doing. He's also become where he's like, I don't know if you saw the one when we were in Home Depot where people were like, is he friendly? Can I say hi? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. And then he gets some pets and he's friendly with people. The only time that I've seen him bark, or not bark, but growl at anybody at all recently, over the past few weeks, is only, he doesn't do it to me, But there's been a couple of times with one of the other trainers that like if he's in his crate, he'll kind of growl, but that's it. And if he does that, just tell him to knock it off and make sure he does. That's all. Let's go. Bo, let's go. Good job, dude. But yeah, that's about it. And this is recorded, so then it'll be posted so that you can see it and watch it back. And of course, all the other videos are there. I have a tendency to ramble during videos, which is hopefully useful for you, because then if you want to make sure you are doing everything correctly, just watch through all the videos I did, watch this video, and you'll get a fairly decent dog training education just by watching through those. So the commands, very briefly, are obviously you've already seen sit, down. I usually use their name first before I do it. So I'll say, Bo, Bo, hey bud, sit. That's not a sit. Come here, bud. Bo, come here. Come here. Bo, sit. And so he'll sit. And then if I want him to be done with it, okay, good job. So okay is the release cue. Bo, Bo, hey bud, I know, very distracted. Down. Down is that. Okay, good boy. And then the recall is just come. Bo, come. And then he'll come to you. All right, dude. Bo. I'll just say his name again if he hasn't sat yet. And then he'll sit. Okay, good job. Because ideally he comes straight to you and sits. And then the cues are, if you want him to play with you, you'll say ready. Bo, Bo, you ready? You ready, dude? You ready? Yeah, yeah. That's just any kind of interactive play. I'll say, Bo, you ready, buddy? You ready? And I'll make it really clear through like my talking to him. And then enough is the cue if you want him to chill. But he's still free to like walk around. He's not in a command. And then obviously, Bo, let's go. Let's go is the redirection cue. It means you want him to move along with you. And then the last one, Bo. We'll see how he does with this one right now, because he's very distracted. Bo, hey, hey, heel. Nope. 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 Bo, heel. Nope. The only thing he struggles with a little bit still is sniffing when he's in the heel. That's the only time I don't want to let them sniff. Bo, heel. And then they should stop when you stop in the heel. Okay. Good boy. And then he's released. So that's most of the commands. The other one is a place command, but we don't have a place guide here. You just walk him over, tell him place, make sure he gets up there. And then when he's up there, he just has to have all four paws up there, and then he's on place. You don't have to say stay ever. I don't know if you noticed that, but we don't use stay. It's an implied stay. So he knows that he's supposed to keep doing whatever it is you asked him to do until you give him the release word, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it eliminates a very annoying problem, which is having to say stay 1,000 times, because people say stay, 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 stay. And it's very confusing to the dog, actually, most of the time, because they hear stay 100 times, and they're like, so how many times do they have to say stay for me to know that I have to keep staying? Right? So we just eliminate that, and it's just with that cue. So if I go, Bo, Bo, down, nope, Bo, down. He just knows that he has to be in the down until I say the release word. Nope. Right, and if he gets up before the release word, it's important that you do that. You tell him in OPE, tell him to like go, and then if he goes back into it, great. Okay, good boy, and he knows he can get up when you say okay. So that was your original thing. That's the only thing you really said you were worried about at all, which is that he does the commands with you. And he will, as long as you reinforce them. So if you say down and he doesn't down right away, right, then if he looks a little confused about what he's supposed to do, just say down again and help him into it, right? Good job, buddy. You almost got it, almost. Right, and then he goes into it and you're like, oh, good boy. If he seems like he's just distracted and doing something else and doesn't care about what you asked him to do, tell him nope and put him back, and then make sure he goes into the down. If you do that with each of the commands, he'll do totally fine with it. Good boy. The other thing is the e-collar for him is on the way to your house.
Okay.
It'll be there within the next day or two.
Okay.
Yep. And do you have a prong collar at home?
I don't.
You can have this one then. Yep,
Thank you.
this one will sit. Nope. Nope. Sit. Nope. Sit. Nope. Nope. Okay. In you go. And I'll just grab that here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Let me get this off you. Good job though, dude.
Super excited.
Yeah, so excited.